What is going on, everybody? What is going on? I know a little change of pace right now, mainly because having some I had some issues I had to take care of yesterday and wasn't able to get the stream started to do it on the day that I usually would have the stream on. So that's why we are here on a Saturday, an early Saturday afternoon. And I usually hold on, let me turn my phone down. Okay. And it's been a long time since I've ever done a live stream on a weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Well, really, I don't think I've ever really done them on Saturdays, but I remember at one point when I used to do them on Sundays. But as I had put into my community tab, I said I was having some issues that I was dealing with my car yesterday, and that's why I couldn't really attend to doing this stream. Like literally, I got off the phone with the people at like 6:30 in the evening. And I was like, it's no need for me to like have y'all hanging on for over an hour. So I said, let me just go ahead and just do the stream today. And it works out perfectly because as y'all know, or if you don't know, from the video announcement that I put out last night, I'm currently not doing any videos on Saturdays and Sundays. So this works out fine without any interference. So it almost feels like y'all are getting a video for me, just not on this channel. I mean, the main channel, but on this channel, the live stream channel. So that's why I'm here doing this stream on a Saturday. This is not a permanent thing. This is just, it's just because unforeseen circumstances happened and I wasn't able to live stream yesterday. And I was getting ready to, and then some issues arise that was out of my control and I had to deal with that. But I do see all the comments that came in here, but this was from yesterday. So if you see any comments that are up to like 5 something in the evening yesterday, those are comments from yesterday. Any comments that are coming through now at 1 and beyond that are fresh comments of today. But let's see, who do we have in here so far? Brother Sly, Spidey, Joseph, Kimberly Frazier, Leonard, My Voice Channel, Letitia. Let me see what some of y'all are saying. Brother Sly, Spidey said hello, Torian. It says Letitia Wright was fired from Marvel. I thought that was just a rumor. I don't know how confirmed or not that actually is that she was fired from Marvel or that she left. This whole thing going on with the next Black Panther movie, it's like a dark cloud has hovered over. It's like the movie is cursed. It's like nothing has really gone right at all for this movie since production started. This is crazy. Spidey said, I'm just looking forward to No Way Home. So am I. Joseph, you said, what did I think of the Sonic 2 trailer? I liked it. I can't wait to see it. As a matter of fact, when they dropped the poster for it a couple days ago, I said, yeah, I can't wait to see this movie because I really like the first one. So I can't wait to see the second one. And it looks really good too. Let's see who else we have in. Shot Chick, Wadner, Don P. Ben, Yehuda. What's going on? I'm glad that y'all are here. Hopefully I get some more attendance. I know it is an early Saturday afternoon, so some people are probably out and about doing their thing. And like I said, I usually don't do live streams at this particular time or on this day, but because of what happened yesterday, I had to come on here and do the live stream today. And I couldn't have it at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock because I actually have another call that I have to be on at 5. So that's why I'm having it earlier. Kimberly said, I believe Disney may not want to duplicate the success of Black Panther because of its predecessor. Honestly, a lot of the movies that are coming out right now aren't making the type of money they should, mainly due to the pandemic. If it wasn't for what's going on, some of the movies that had come out this year probably would have crossed $1 billion with ease. But because of everything's going on, nothing is really like hitting major marks. or at least they're hitting marks that would be considered major for the times that we're in. I don't know when they're going to see another $1 billion movie, even from a Marvel movie. Dee said, I'm getting ready to go on the plantation. Just keep in mind it's only for a couple of hours and that you will be compensated for your time. I don't know if that's like the best thing to put some pep in your day, but it is what it is. Just waiting for some more additional people to come into the chat. Oh, I hope. Oh, did y'all hear about that tornado that hit out there like in the Midwest? I had saw that this morning on the news, and they said they got that warning like at 9 o'clock last night, which is late to get a warning for any type of major storm. And they said that tornado practically tore one town completely apart. Like I was looking at the footage, it looked like a damn atom bomb exploded right there. It's crazy. But if y'all haven't done so already, make sure y'all have liked the stream and also go ahead and share the stream as well. I will greatly appreciate it. And I don't know what's going on with the weather here because today, like where I'm at, it's in the 70s or supposed to be in the 70s. Practically in the middle of December. That's wild. Chachi said they're saying that maybe 100 people may have died in Kentucky. Yeah, that's why I couldn't, like, you couldn't pay me to live out there. Spidey said that was south of me. I'm in the Midwest. The My Voice channel said we just had high winds and thunderstorms here in Memphis. Brother Sly said we are having a freeze warning in Las Vegas. That's kind of interesting. I didn't think that it got that. Not gonna say it doesn't get cold in Vegas, because it can't get cold anywhere. But a freeze warning, that's new to me. What's going on, Sunlight? Nightfall drop. What's going on? Did everybody here in the chat that's in the chat so far, did y'all get a chance to watch the video that I uploaded last night, basically saying that I'm not going to be uploading videos on Saturdays and Sundays anymore? And to those asking and those who are probably panicking, no, I am not ending the Sundown series just because I'm not uploading on Sundays anymore. I'm just moving that to Monday. The series is still ongoing. Why would I stop now? I'm almost done with the series. Like I just got into a new state, and then we got one more state after that. And then after that, we'll be done. We should be done with the Sundown series probably, if I had to guess, probably maybe around mid-February. It's crazy. I started that series at the beginning of 2020, and here we are at the end of 2021. Weekly. But the series is not just ending because I'm not doing it on Sundays anymore. It's just going to be put on uploaded on Mondays. But what I did was I made sure to put, I guess you can say, put the text version of what I said in the video in the community tab as well. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the video, then you can go and read it in the community tab. And there's going to be another one that's going to come tomorrow, but I have it set as a scheduled posting. So it'll post up on the community tab around 12 noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be should be beneficial to you as the subscriber. JK said, what up? Torian in chat. B1, I did not get the noti for this. That's why I said, if y'all don't get the notifications, you either need, it's almost like one or two things that you'll have to do. Follow, if you have a Twitter account, follow me on there, because I always share the link of uploads and live streams on there. or join the Discord server. You will for sure get it in there. And what I'm gonna do is after the stream is over with, I'm gonna post the Discord link in my community tab again and just let that sit there throughout the day. Since there's no uploads, there shouldn't really be like a reason why you don't see it. And that's another reason why I'm glad that I'm not doing uploads on Saturdays and Sundays, because it'll give the opportunity for people who may have missed something that I uploaded to go back and watch it without being distracted from any new uploads that I put out for that day. What's going on, RG Titan 901 and Jennifer? Jennifer said, I got the noti, I deboed it. Well, I'm glad that you got it. Because like I said, some people will get it and some people will not. Like when I talked about it in my video, according to the analytic, it said that they sent out the notifications to 6,400 of my subscribers, because I know they never send it out to every last person, but only like 129 people clicked the notification from the bell. But like I said, I'm gonna post up make a community post tomorrow basically saying how do you have the notifications, because I think some people might be half stepping it and don't even realize it, but it'll go into detail how to fix that. But anyway, it is now officially 1:10, so I'm gonna go ahead now and share my screen, and we are going to go ahead excuse me, and get this stream started, and hopefully more people will pile in as we go along. So the first story that I wanted to talk about is a rather sad story, and that's involving Nick Cannon and the passing of his 5-month-old son. And I had saw the videos floating around, but I was like, why is there like an image of Nick Cannon sitting at a talk show desk crying? And then I was looking at it, I was like, wow, that's extremely sad to have a child that you help create and bring into this world literally die in the same year that he was born. And basically he said that his son died from brain cancer. Now I'm not going to play the video of him going through like going over it, because like it's really traumatic just to constantly watch someone talk about something like that, something that's very personal. And I feel bad for Nick. Like we have some, like, listen, we know over here that we had some issues with Nick Cannon over the last year. We know this. We had said some things about Nick Cannon, and people were saying, "Damn, Nick Cannon! Like how are you able to have all these children and whatnot, like and everything like that?" I don't know. Maybe he just wants to have a big family. Well, he's definitely achieving the goal, but at the end of the day, this is still a very sad thing. Like no parent wants to bury their child, especially as almost as soon as your child was just born. And he was just basically explaining, how it all happened. He basically said that his son, they started to notice a growth in his head. Basically, he had cancer on the brain in the form of a tumor. They said they had to stick a tube into his child's body to drain the fluid to get the tumor down. And then all of a sudden, the tumor just grew back and it grew bigger. And cancer was there. And he said one of the last moments he had with his son was when he and the mother of the child went for a walk on the beach, because he said that his son liked it when his parents he said his son liked it when his parents would take him to the beach. And that was the last moment he had. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that he passed away right in his arms. So it's just, it's a very sad thing. And I have to give Nick Cannon props for even getting out there on his show and actually sitting in front of an audience in real time and actually telling this story, because he could have easily just said there's not going to be a show today. Like, I just lost my son over the weekend. I'm grieving. I need some time. I will see y'all maybe next week. But he came on there and he told the world that his son died over the weekend. and then continue to go on with his show. Like the opening of the segment, like the first 10 minutes that he did in his opening was just talking about his son. And then he continued to go on with the show like business as usual. Jennifer said, it was pleasant to see Mariah Carey to respect his privacy while giving him condolences and saying that he is a good father. One thing I can say about their relationship from what I have seen is even though they are no longer married, they are good parents to their kids and they are doing co-parenting the right way. Like I rarely have ever seen or heard or have never heard of them getting into any type of friction when their kids are involved. I don't even think Mariah Carey has him on child support, as if she would need it, because she wouldn't. You know, they both come from well-to-do parents, so they're good. But yeah. Maybe he probably does need to take like some time off from everything and just like clear his head, because like I said, this is a traumatic thing. Like this is the first child that he had that passed away in his youngest. This was his most recent child. 5 months. And also condolences again to, you know, the mother as well, because she, you know, had to carry a child for 9 months. She had to push the child out. They bonded. So, and I feel like the only people that can relate to Nick Cannon are the people that have been in those positions to lose a child that young. JK says people was talking crap about him doing the show. Wait, like I said, we live in a world with some low-level thinking people, so that's par for the course. Some people don't have a heart. It is what it is. But I do offer my condolences to his family though, and I hope that they manage to pull through this, and I'm sure, you know, that they will. But let me move on to the next story, and that is involving Joel Osteen. Now, I saw I guess you can say a meme on Instagram where someone said Joel Osteen is like the Christian version of Pablo Escobar. And the reason people were saying that is because they said that this plumber, who I'm gonna play the video, had found some money inside the walls of Joel Osteen's church. And they said that he got a $20,000 reward. Mind you, the amount of money he found was $600,000. I wouldn't have said a damn thing. I would have kept my mouth shut, because apparently if they forgot the money was in the walls, then it's mine now. I'm snatching everything up. I'm putting everything into a bag and I'm walking out of there like I ain't see shit. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video and see what this plumber is talking about.
My heart stopped. Needless to say, I mean, I really had I had no clue that would come about.
Justin Colley, or Justin the plumber, says when Crime Stoppers called, he thought he was in trouble. Instead, he's getting $20,000 from the nonprofit for alerting Lakewood staff to money he found in its walls.
You know, bills are stacking up. Like I said, you know, work is trying to get slow, so I'm just trying to make the best of it. And today, that light shine through.
The cash is part of the original Crime Stoppers reward for the 2014 robbery. Over time, Lakewood made their portion into a charitable donation. This week, Crime Stoppers board said the man who found the money deserves it.
For us, again, very odd. I've been running Crime Stoppers since 2013, been with the organization since 2006. I've never seen anything like this.
In a statement to KPRC, a Lakewood representative says they are, quote, appreciative of the plumber and hope he pays the gift forward.
This money is going to help tremendously.
Now he says he wants to thank the Osteens.
It's a bit of a blessing, you know, because had you not have donated that money, probably wouldn't have been here today. And I want to thank you for that.
Oh, pause that. Okay, so that's the video right there. I wouldn't have said a goddamn thing if I found $600,000 inside of a wall. And like someone said in the chat, I can't see who it was because the chat was moving kind of fast. No, I see it, Nettie. You're right. They had to have known that money was there. You don't just put $600,000 in a wall and just say, "Oh, I forgot." That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I would not have said anything, especially since the only reward you're going to give me is $20,000 out of the $600,000 that I found. Are you kidding me? I would have kept that, and I would have kept my mouth shut because apparently they don't remember the money being there. And then they gonna ask him to pay it forward. Pay it forward to who exactly? Pay it forward to who? Because if the forward payment is not to myself and whatever I choose to do with it, it's not being paid forward to shit. Call me selfish. I don't give a damn. Nightfall said, "How sweet," but I also won't forget Joel wouldn't open his church during that hurricane and flooding that hit the area a couple of years ago. You right about that. You are right about that. So he found a bunch of checks that totaled out to $600,000, and out of all of those checks, because he was such a good Samaritan, they only gave him $20,000 and said, "Oh, that's such a good deed. Here's your little trinket." That is a trinket compared to the rest. Especially since this thing was in the form of checks. It's not like it was stacked cash. Oh, it would have been easy to walk out with that. Because you got to think, those checks were thousands in the thousands per check. So that would have been easy to just, by the way. Brother Side said the plumber threw his blessing away. He did. $20,000, like, you can blow through that unless you invest it properly. Now, if he invested properly and he say that he equals out to the amount that he found, then it ended up working out in his favor. He broke even on something he should have had. But if not, you got the short end of the stick. I'd be wondering if people regret being the good Samaritan all the time. Because if I was him, I would be regretting this shit, sitting here saying to myself and looking at this measly $20,000 check, and I found $600,000. Let's see, 20K, 600K. There's no balance there. It's no balance. Exactly, Tyler. I would have kept that. Forget being the good guy. Shit. Like Kim said in the chat, finders, keepers, you know the rest. Brother Side said, plus his 20K is going to get taxed. Man, if they tax that money, he really messed up. That means he ain't going to even have 20K. I would have took them checks and I would have walked up out of there and acted like nothing happened. I wouldn't have alerted nobody, no news, no police, nobody. There's no investigation to be had. Please don't ask me no questions. Get that camera out of my face. I'm going home. And you might into wherever that the plumbing company that I worked for, if I worked for a company or wasn't self-employed, you will be getting a nice 2-week notice from me on Monday. They ask me, where am I going? Don't worry about it. I'm going to the moon. That's where I'm going. But yeah, that wasn't, in my opinion, that wasn't a smart move. I would have kept that. I would not. I would have kept that, and I would not have said a damn thing. Because, like I said, if they didn't know it was there, or they claimed to forget it, they said this thing connected to a theft in 2014. We are in 2021. You're talking over 7 years that money was sitting there, and no one thought to go get it. This reminds me of the movie Blue Streak. Remember the movie Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, when he was they got that diamond and he hid it inside of the vents, but he didn't know that what they were building right there was a police station. So when he got out of jail to come and get the diamond back, he finds that it's a police station, and he has to impersonate a cop to get the diamond. This kind of reminds me of that, except the church was already built. But yeah, it's no way. It's no way. But hey, it's on him. As far as I'm concerned, that's on him. Let's move on to the next story, and that is involving Emmett Till. Here we go again with the bullshit. That's how we gonna start it off. Here we go again with the bullshit. So again, the Emmett Till case has been closed for a second time by the DOJ for some bullshit. And they said Emmett Till case being closed by the DOJ guarantees no one will pay for his lynching, which means that bitch Carolyn Bryant is still able to be free with no persecution. That they gonna let that old hag just die. They just gonna let her freaking die. Justice Department's closure of Emmett Till case ends with little hope for justice that remained more than 65 years after the 1955 lynching. Let's see what they're talking about. For decades, if not centuries, Americans have persisted in the belief that the South is separate and distinct from the rest of the country. It's commonly held that the politics that have governed the region, the atrocities that have happened there, and the inadequate responses to those atrocities belong to the South and the South alone. But the widespread racism that allowed Emmett Till's killers to escape accountability is one of the many reasons we can dismiss such a belief as fantastical. In the summer of 1955, Till, age 14, a black resident of Chicago, was visiting his mother's people in the Mississippi Delta. He was kidnapped, tortured, and killed by Roy Bryant and J.W. Millam, two white men who accused him of being sassy with Bryant's wife in a country grocery store. The brothers threw his body into the Tallahatchie River, apparently in the hope that he would never surface. But it did surface, and when it did, people across the country and the world were forced to acknowledge the horrible fate that could befall a black child in the U.S. Yes, the whole U.S. The Mississippi justice system failed when it acquitted the men who would later boast about killing him, but the U.S., specifically the military, played its part when it created the awful impression that Till was genetically predisposed to hurt women. And the part that they're talking about is with his dad, because remember, his dad was in the military and he was accused of doing the same thing, and he was killed pretty much in the same fashion. So that's where this line comes from. So they're saying Emmett Till doing what he did, what he did not do. I'm gonna put it this way: what he did not do, what he was accused of to that bitch Carolyn Bryant. They said that was a genetic thing that was passed down from his dad, just to be this wandering Negro who didn't know his place or his lane and think that he could talk to or acknowledge or look at a PC bitch. When I'm certain in this instance did not happen, and I'm almost certain it didn't happen with his dad. The Justice Department on Monday closed the recent investigation into Till's lynching without charging anyone, because it was even harder in the 50s and the 60s to convict white people who murder black people. The Justice Department has a cold case division that has occasionally brought some measure of justice to killers who face juries fundamentally opposed to conviction. But in the case of Till's murderers, someone with access to military files made it even less likely that his killers would be punished. While they were on trial on kidnapping and murder charges, someone leaked a confidential military file to the press indicating that Till's father, Louis Till, a U.S. soldier in Italy during World War II, was hanged by the army in 1945 for rape and murder. which isn't necessarily proof that Private Lewis Till was guilty. The Army hanged a disproportionately high number of black servicemen on accusation of sexual misconduct, so disproportionately high that we have every reason to suspect that racist stereotypes about black men were driving the numbers the same way those stereotypes resulted in so many black bodies swinging from tree limbs. Now, that's very interesting. He was hung during World War II by the same military that he was enlisted in on accusations of rape and murder. They are supposed to be over there fighting the bad guys, protecting America, but they killed a black man from America for allegations of rape and murder from the same damn military that he serves in, or that he served in. Imagine you as a mother, and I'm talking about his Mammy Till, Emmett Till's mother, her husband being murdered for accusations of rape and murder, only to have it fall 10 years later that your son gets accused of the same thing and he gets killed pretty much almost the same way. 10 years later. The Army hanged a disproportionately, and I already read that part, John Edgar Wideman, who reveals exculpatory evidence that casts serious doubt on Lewis Till's guilt in his 2016 book, Writing to Save a Life, the Lewis Till File, visited a section of a French cemetery reserved for executed U.S. servicemen as he researched that book. He found that 83 of the 96 who had been executed were black. The U.S. Army War College had previously published a report finding that Negro soldiers were unmoral and untruthful, in addition to being careless, shiftless, irresponsible, and secretive. Isn't that the same kind of labels they throw on black men today, especially that careless and shiftless one? We could connect the racist belief with the result. Black soldiers who were no more than 10% of soldiers during World War II accounted for 86% of those the Army deemed serving of execution. We should view the Wars College report and the execution of Elder Till as proof that the U.S. military believed as strongly as the state of Mississippi did that black men were inherently criminal. Just know on this basis alone, this would or almost should turn a lot of black men away from joining the military. Because I'm learning some stuff right here. Some of the, like this, what I'm reading, I did not know. I knew that his dad was in the military and he got accused of the same things he did and that he was killed. But going deeper into what I'm reading, I did not know that. This is also a good building block for reparations. That's why it's good that we have this stuff to like literally push this thing forward. But you already know who's going to push back against it. But we don't give a damn because we're going to push their ass out the way. But the release of the father's files destroyed any chance that Emmett Till's killers would be convicted of kidnapping. They lived out their days as unrepentant and unpunished murderers. So what they did was to further get those two devils off, even though they probably was going to get off regardless of what they did. They pulled out their trump card, and the trump card was the files involving Emmett Till's father and what he was killed over, and linking it to his son and saying it was genetically linked. So it's no surprise why Emmett Till is dead and for the accusations of what he allegedly did. So this is going to build a case for us to let these two demons go. Not that they even had to do all of that, because we knew they was going to release them anyway. So what does that tell you? They're telling you in verbatim, or even subliminally verbatim, however you want to put it, that whatever a black man's father has done that is deemed illegal, allegedly, the son is going to do the same thing. If your dad is doing it, in this case, was accused of rape and murder, it should be no surprise that his offspring is going to do the same thing. That's what they're saying. And if they do get hit with the charges, and we take them out, that's going to look good for us, because all we have to do is link it back to the parent, the male parent, and we can say, see, it's genetically linked. Well, in that case, I guess some of these school shooters shouldn't have kids, because wouldn't that mean that they're genetically linked and they're going to most likely, their offspring is going to commit a mass shooting when they get of age? And this also goes back to what they do now currently with black people now. Like, think about what happened with Harambe, the gorilla, when the little boy fell into the gorilla pit and they shot and killed the gorilla, and people got so mad at the boy. But they couldn't get too mad at the boy, so they tried to shift blame to the mother. But when they found out the mother was a daycare provider and it was just a simple accident, they decided to reach back to the dad, who wasn't even there. He was at work minding his business. He didn't know what the hell was going on. So what are we going to do? Oh, we can't get him because he's at work. But let's dig into his file 10 years prior. Oh, he was in prison. So that just means genetically his son is going to be a little badass like him. You see how they play that shit out? They got all this smoke for us, but they'll turn a blind eye when they do dumb shit. As a matter of fact, Harvey just did a video about that Lauren Bobart chick who is about as crazy as Marjorie Taylor Greene, who took the picture with her sons all holding assault rifles. I said, I see 4 potential school shooters. So I wouldn't be surprised if any one of them tries to pull a Columbine, which, by the way, if y'all remember a video I did over the summer about them 2 little badasses down in Florida who tried to pull a Columbine. Mind you, they weren't even born when Columbine happened. They were born like 2 years after. What the hell you know about Columbine? You weren't even alive. But they found inspiration from it to try to attempt to commit a Columbine-style mass shooting. Exactly, Jordan. Cave logic. Where did I leave off? I went off when I go off my tangent, I lose my spot. We should view the Wars College report and execution of the I think I went past that. It says that's why the Justice Department's announcement in 2018 that it had reopened the Till case didn't cause any excitement. What was the point of reopening the case in 2018 when Bryant and Millen were long dead? According to a memo the Justice Department sent to Congress, the Till case has been reopened by DOJ based upon the discovery of new information. The only publicly known new information had come from historian Timothy Tyson, who in his book, The Blood of Emmett Till, quotes the star witness in the case as disavowing her testimony. Carolyn Bryant Donham, that hag-ass bitch, had testified that Till grabbed her around her waist and rudely propositioned her. But according to Tyson, she told him in an interview that part is not true. You tell these stories for so long that they seem true, but that part is not true because she's a lying-ass bitch. That doesn't even sound like something that even happened. Again, the over-exaggeration of hypersexualizing the black male, whether they are a little boy or a grown man. Remember that video a couple years ago of that black boy inside of that store, and he had walked past this frail-looking white woman, and she tried to accuse him of rubbing her ass. First off, who would even want to touch you with a 10-foot pole? If she looked like one of them little ants or whatever them things was on Men in Black. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them little stick figure looking things. Aliens. And she looked like she was on that stuff. Upon publication of Tyson's book, Donham denied having made such a confession. Tyson maintains that she did. What he should have did was he should have recorded the conversation. I don't care if the damn conversation was secretive, like the recording was secretive, but she didn't know. He should have recorded that to get it documented that this is her saying it. The Justice Department said in the memo Monday that it was impossible to prove that the woman at the center of the country's most infamous lynching had ever lied to investigators. From that memo, what is clear from all accounts is that Donham suffered no physical harm and that Till's conduct was likely perceived by many in the white community to violate their unwritten code, prevalent in the Jim Crow South, that black men were forbidden from initiating interactions with white women. The Justice Department's memo attempts to explain that their unwritten codes in the South complements a common explanation of Till's interaction with Donham in that store. According to that explanation, because Till grew up in Chicago and not Mississippi, he didn't know the rules dictated by segregation. And thus, such speculation goes, Till blithely interacted with a white woman without sufficient caution. But Chicago was and still is segregated, and Tyson is spot on when he writes in The Blood of Emmett Till that it defies the imagination that a 14-year-old from the 1950s Chicago could really be ignorant of the consequences of the color of his skin. He knew segregation and the machinery dedicated to enforcing it because he was a black person raised in the U.S. Though the Justice Department blames Donham in the South for Till's death, we shouldn't accept its attempt to dismiss the South as some other country. As was indicated by the Army report labeling black men as inherently immoral, and as was indicated by the outrageously disproportionate number of black servicemen executed for rape. The stereotypes about black men weren't endemic to any particular region. The Army put the boy's father to death despite exculpatory evidence, and that information was then put to nefarious use, making the acquittal of his son's killer even more likely than it already was. No, the Emmett Till lynching isn't just a Southern story or a summer 1955 story. It's a multi-generational and wholly American tragedy for which no has ever been or ever will be made to account. Let me read some of y'all comments. Jennifer said, well, let me go. Okay, go back up. Don said the American history they don't teach because this was done by a federal institution during World War II within the institution of injustice, but CRT doesn't exist. Malika said, okay, with that kind of logic, then that means that the Dub S and the rest of the regressives follow the putrid acts of their genetically inclined defective parents and ancestors. Oh, we already know that, but we know they're going to say it was a mental issue. That's the go-to. We all know that. Greg McMichael passed those evil deeds to his son, Travis McMichael. I mean, yeah, if we're going to go by that logic, yeah. Joseph was said, eugenics equal white. I'm white and I say so. My Voice channel said the racist white society will do anything to undermine our fight for justice. We have to continue to fight back and push back against their system. Jennifer said, I'm teaching my child and children about all of their BS, no matter what raggedy law comes up, on how to teach children. Oh, they gonna get this cave tea on the snow roaches. Joseph said, congratulations, PC. You have been awarded for creating a culture of projection. IMV said, Dub S are mad that the McMichaels have been found guilty. Oh, well, they got caught on video, so they can't get mad at it. The crazy part about it is how many times have we seen stuff be caught on videos and they still walk away from it? So the thing is, a lot of them have been caught on camera doing stuff and they got so emboldened to keep doing it because a lot of times, even when caught on camera, they still walk away. Look at Rodney King. Vulcan said, hey, Torian, have you heard about the new political party that 3 non-FBAs are trying to start up called KCP, the Kingdom Conservative Party? No, I have not. Don said there was another congressman with 7 kids and his wife, all with various assault rifles on a Christmas card. Yeah, I was talking about Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert. Harvey or Your World on YouTube, he did a video talking about her. But yeah, I saw that video. That's why I said in the comment section, if you go and look at that video, I said 4 potential school shooters. And it's crazy because they'll post pictures of them holding guns and everything like that. But if you even see a child, look at Tamir Rice playing with an airsoft pistol, he gets killed in 2.5 seconds. But when it comes to white kids holding a gun, and I'm talking about a real gun shooting real bullets that can actually really injure or kill somebody for real, no one questions it. That's why when we were talking about the comparisons of Kyle Rittenhouse being a white male versus a black male of the same age, we already know what would happen. But you have PC out here that's going to try to play dumb. That's all part of their Dub S playbook. That's why as Black people, you cannot fall for their BS, because that's all it is. That's all a part of being a white supremacist. You have to play dumb for as long as you possibly can, knowing damn well you know the truth. Malika said, yet far too many of our males and an increasingly growing number of our females continue to flock to those regressives. Leave them alone, swirlers. Truth be told, Malika, it's not even that, the number is not even that high. I actually saw a post where it was saying that most Black people who make six figures actually date or marry each other. But the thing is, what it is the media. Here's the thing. The media will continue to pump that out there. The media will continue to pump out that imagery as if it's some massive phenomenon happening. And I actually have a video coming up next week that's going to talk about something involving this political figure out of Idaho and how she got upset because she saw a Black family in a Hershey bar Christmas commercial. And I'm going to leave it at that. Vulcan said, by that logic, then all of their children are destined to be mass shooters and rapists. By that logic, if we go by that logic, okay, I think I am done with that story, or this story, and we are moving on to the next one. Now, I got a question for those in the chat. I got a question for y'all. How many people have heard of a man by the name of George Cachapa? You can put a 1 in the chat. Yes, no, yes or no. Don't put a 1. Say yes or no. Let me know if you ever heard of a man by the name of George Cachapa. Sunlight said 2, so I'm gonna assume that's a no. Nightfall Drop said no. My voice said no. Everyone's saying no. Cool. Well, I'm gonna ask another question. How many people in the chat have ever heard of PlayStation? It should be a yes for every last one of that. How many people have heard of PlayStation, the gaming console, PlayStation? Nightfall said he just dropped a demo. No, this is not a rapper. This is not a rapper. Okay, yes, I'm seeing a bunch of yeses. Well, the reason why I asked that is because that's how we're going to segue into the next story. And that is involving this guy whose name is George Cachapa. And some of you probably have heard of him. And he is the former Sony PlayStation exec who is under investigation after appearing in a pedo sting video. Now looking at this, y'all probably like, oh, that's who you're talking about. But y'all just didn't know his name. But y'all knew he was a senior vice president for PlayStation. And you want to know what's so interesting about this coming out? They just had the Video Game Awards a couple days ago, before a few days after this came out. So that means he was actually supposed to be at the event. He was supposed to be at the event, but he got busted being a perv a couple days prior. So let's see what they're talking about here. A Sony senior vice president who worked on the PlayStation Network was fired from his position after being caught in an amateur pedophilia sting video. San Diego police confirmed Thursday he is now under investigation. Let's just put it this way, and trust me when I say I'm not trying to make this sound jokey when I say this. Let's just say that this guy was playing with a whole nother type of joystick. Y'all pretty much get what I'm saying. George Cachapa was allegedly trying to arrange a meeting with a person claiming to be a 15-year-old boy. This kind of reminds me of To Catch a Predator. According to a video posted December 3rd by the YouTube channel People vs. Preds, Cachapa had been a senior vice president of engineering at Sony for the past 8 years, according to his LinkedIn profile. He has been fired after allegedly appearing in the video. We are aware of the situation and the employee in question has been terminated from employment. Sony said in an email statement Sunday. Cachapa didn't respond to requests for comments submitted through his LinkedIn account. In the video, a cameraman is seen walking down a street at night toward a house. A person who appears to be Cachapa wearing a PS5 shirt. Now listen to that. He literally left this trademark on. This man was in a whole PS5 shirt when he got busted. He is standing outside the house. The cameraman then speaks to Cachapa, referring to him as Jeff. As the cameraman asks more questions, Cachapa walks back into the house and closes the door while refusing to answer. The cameraman proceeds to start yelling that he will call the police. According to a Google Drive link posted in the YouTube video's description, Cachapa allegedly spoke with a person who said he was 15 years old on Grindr, the social networking app for gay, bi, trans, and queer people. The two exchanged pictures and discussed sex acts. According to screenshots of the conversation, Cachapa allegedly told the decoy that his name was Jeff and provided his address. The decoy said he would take an Uber to his location, and Cachapa was allegedly waiting outside. A spokesperson for the San Diego police said Thursday its Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force is investigating the incident. People versus Preds confirmed that the information was sent to the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. The DA's office says it has yet to receive the case from law enforcement. This isn't the first tech company employee that People vs. Preds claims to have caught trying to seek a minor. In October, a man identified as Todd Wiseman allegedly set up a meeting with a 15-year-old on Grindr. He just looks like a creep. According to his LinkedIn profile, Wiseman was a senior account manager at NVIDIA. A spokesman for the company said Wiseman doesn't work for the company, but confirmed he used to be an employee. NVIDIA declined to comment on whether the video contributed to the end of his employment. Wiseman didn't respond to a request for comment submitted through his LinkedIn account. Yeah. It's some sickos in this world. But like I said, he went out there thinking he was going to meet a 15-year-old boy that he met on that Grindr app. And then found out it was a whole adult. Like, that's why I said it kind of reminded me of To Catch a Predator. Let me see what y'all talking about in this comment section. Nightfall said, "Oh Lord, another one." Spidey said, "Sony got some devious shit." My voice said, "Oh yeah, just made a tweet about him." Alicia said, "I'm trying to pretend to be surprised." Nightfall said, "Did they cross-reference him with Epstein?" I don't know. They need to see if he's on the list. Malika said, "That's why that regressive is a game enthusiast so he could catch kids." Good point. Good point, Malika. I didn't think about that, but you made a very good point with that one. Jennifer said, "You had me at Sony." Jordan said, "That's cave culture for you." Don said, "Once he gets inside, they're going to play with his..." He said they're going to play with his station. Oh, man. Spidey said, "We talk about Disney, but Sony is just as devious." Yeah, a lot of these companies have some weirdos working for them. I'm talking about some grade A top tier level weirdos working there. And because they work in these high positions and high companies and these high ranking jobs and whatever, these 6-figure paying jobs, they get access to a lot of shit that the regular low level people don't. Joseph said Activision is having a massive resignation of their employees as well. I heard briefly about it, but I didn't look into what was going on. And I said, this is the bad week for gaming. First you have this, and then the Activision thing happened like soon after. Jennifer said he looks like he plays with his little potted meat. Joseph said most of these gaming companies need an extreme detox. Jordan said he wanted to get caught. Malika said the shirt is his hook and calling card for the youth. Don said the whole entertainment are either PERS, pedals, or Academy members. Well, keep in mind what Hollywood got founded off of. Enough said. DSM is Sinister said the Academy added again with their pedo agendas. Zen Green said crimes of depravity. Malika said problem is that they got caught, ergo fired. Right. And it makes you wonder, how long has he been doing this? Because I don't want to believe that this is his first ride at the rodeo. I want to believe that this is how it's been. Because they had to have some kind of an inkling that something was going on, or maybe they really didn't know that this guy, he worked for Sony. He most likely didn't put he would not have put that on that account on that app that he worked for Sony. That's why he used the fake name. He may have used the fake picture or whatever. And it just so happens they hit the jackpot and it happened to be him. That's most likely what it was. Jordan says, dude is a fool. Why would a 15-year-old be on a gay dating site? You never know. You never know. But you make a good point too. Why would any minor be on a dating site, dating app, period? Don says Zuckerberg gave big money to I don't even want to say their name. IMV says this is why you keep a watchful eye on your children, because of freak creeps like him. My voice Shannon said a lot of alphabet white dudes are getting busted, but best believe that the white-owned media would save them. You're right. And the biggest bust they got this year was Ed Buck. That was probably one of their biggest busts this year. Spidey said, Torian, let's forget the definitive edition for GTA. Or not forget about it. Vulcan said, this isn't his first time. He just got caught this time. Oh, yeah, most definitely. This is not his first time doing this at all. I don't believe that. But let's move on to the next story. Is a video. Now, some of you have seen this video right here, but we're going to talk about it today. And it involves Karen and her accusing this black man of taking her phone. Reminds me so much of that Maya Ponsetto chick in New York who tried to accuse that boy of taking her iPhone. But we're going to go ahead and play this, and we are going to discuss. Oh, Buzzer said what happened from yesterday had some Yeah, I had some issues dealing with my car, so I wasn't able to live stream yesterday. So that's why I'm doing it today.
Okay, we heard you.
Yeah, no.
Can you call it? Because she won't let us call it.
Yeah, it's phone number.
916. Well, he could have turned off the ringer.
Oh my God! What, do you want him to get fucking naked, lady?
All right, guys.
I can't unlock your phone.
You don't need
Guys,
to.
Yeah, dude.
Let's try
turn the ringer off.
Let's try to just stay calm and cool. Okay. So 916.
I really need my phone back.
Stop looking at him like it's her. Talk to him. He's trying to help you.
Let me get the number. 916.
Is everything in my pocket?
Do you want to pat him down?
You pat me down, girl. That's all I got.
I'm still waiting for the number.
Well, if it's
If it's in his pocket, it won't ring because he turned off your ringer. Is what you're also accusing us of. Even though he just emptied out everything in his pocket. Here's his pocket with his vape in it. Do you want to turn around?
Guys, can we?
She can't.
well, if they have my number, then they have my phone.
Well, let's.
We don't have your phone.
I just stuck it right here. You walk right behind me.
How about you type
I
it in?
didn't take it.
You type it in.
I did not take it. What would I even do
right
with it?
now.
Is it in your purse, man?
It is. I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
Really?
I am sorry.
All right, cool.
Sorry. I apologize.
Fuck off.
I'm really sorry.
No, you're not.
I am. I just freaked out. I'm really.
Oh, please. You ain't fucking sorry. Oh, you sorry, all right. You a sorry piece of shit. That's what you sorry. That's how you sorry. So I'm sure many of you have already seen this video. This video got viewed almost 2.5 million times since it got posted on Twitter. And that was a couple days ago. So it pretty much went viral pretty damn fast. But these kind of videos go viral real fast anyway, which is a good thing. That way you can get a chance to really catch what happened. So basically, they're inside of a Spencer's. I don't think I've ever seen Spencer's look quite like that, but that's besides the point. And this happened in California, by the way. In case people didn't know, because they wrote up articles about this story already. since the video, and this happened in California. I forgot what part of Cali it is, and I actually saw a picture of the black man that she was accusing of taking her phone. And based on his description, he's I guess you could say a dark to brown skinned black man with locks, long locks. When I saw his picture, I said, yeah, in her mind, he fit the description of someone that would typically do this. And he probably never stole anything a day in his life. But you have this Karen right here. This Karen, she decided that she was going to accuse a black man this day of stealing her phone. So they're standing in line. She claims that he bumped into her, and in the bumping into her, he reached into her bag, which would be hard to do because how would she not feel that if she had her bag on her of someone reaching into her bag to get her phone? And then when she pulls out her phone, you see how big that phone is? It looked like an iPhone. I think it was an iPhone. And she's feeling around in the bag. She's trying to pretend like she don't know that her phone is in her bag, knowing good and goddamn well the phone is in her bag. She's touching her phone. And they're offering to call it. And she's trying to say, oh, it's off. And you said that she has a New York area code, then she's probably visiting. I don't know. Listen, it don't matter to me. 516 or whatever the area code is in the part of California it is. The fact of the matter is this is a racist ass bitch. And she could have got this black man hemmed up. He cleared out his pockets. She said the person he was with said all he had was his vape in his pockets. And even when he cleared out his pockets, she still tried to say that he took her phone. And you can tell by the look on her face when she was going through her purse, she wasn't even looking inside of her purse. Notice that when she was looking inside of her bag, she was never looking really in the bag. She kept feeling around in the bag and looking off to the side or looking at him. Like if you're looking for your phone, then why aren't you looking in your bag? And the reason why she didn't look in her bag is because she knew her phone was in the damn bag. She knew, Sunlight, she definitely knew. She knew her phone was in there. She knew it. Let me run it back a little bit and show you what I mean.
Yeah,
no.
Can you call
So
it?
she looks right there.
Yeah.
And then now she's feeling around for it and she's barely looking in her bag. Lowe's that she keeps looking off to the side.
Well, he could have turned off the ringer.
Oh my God! What do you want him to get fucking?
She says that he probably turned off the ringer because she gave the number to the cashier to call her phone. And the phone did not ring. And she said he probably turned off the ringer.
Naked lady?
All right, guys.
I cannot like your phone.
You don't need
Guys,
to.
Yeah, I do.
Let's try
They
to-
turn the ringer off.
Let's try to just.
Nightfall says she was probably just hoping they would call the cops. And that's exactly what she was hoping for. That is exactly what she was hoping for. She was hoping that the cops would be called, the security, whoever, and that they would come and hem him up.
Stay calm and cool. Okay. So now it's 6.
I really need my phone back.
Stop looking at
Okay.
him like it's her. Talk to him. He's trying to
And notice that she keeps reaching into pockets that she know her phone is not even in.
help you.
She pulls it eventually out of this big part right here, but she's reaching in here.
Let me get the number. 916.
Is everything in my pocket?
Do you want to pat him down?
The cashier is asking for her number, and she's trying to pretend like she doesn't hear him asking her for her number to call the phone, because he knows if he gets the number and calls the phone, it's going to ring, and it's going to come from her bag.
You pat me down, bro. That's all I got.
I'm still waiting for the number.
See, he said, I'm still waiting for the number.
Well, if it's
See, that's how you knew. If she really did not have her phone like she claimed, she would have gave the cashier the number so he could call the phone.
Just
If it's in his pocket, it won't ring because he turned off your ringer. Is what you're also accusing us of. Even though he just emptied out everything in his pocket. Here's his pocket with his vape in it. Do you want to turn around?
Guys, can we?
She can't.
Well, they have my number, and they have my phone.
Well, let's.
We don't have your phone.
I just stuck it right here. You walk right behind me.
How about you type it in?
You type it.
And here's the thing. She knows that this guy does not have her phone, but she's adamant. She is adamant on accusing him of taking her phone because she has dug herself into a hole so deep of ignorance that she has to continue piling on this lie. Typical Karen activity.
I did not take it.
Now she has the cashier's phone and she's dialing her number.
What would I even do?
Right now.
Now she's looking around like, oh my God, I had my phone the whole time. Goofy. Pure goofiness. She said, oh, they turned the ringer off. Then why the hell is your phone ringing? You heard it right. Y'all can hear the phone ringing.
Is it in your purse, man?
Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yes, it is.
Really?
There it
I'm
is.
sorry.
Oh, you can listen. We cannot make this up. We cannot make this up. Oh my God. See, it was in my purse. Yeah, of course it was in your purse. It was never out of your purse. You dummy. Man. Huh.
All right, cool.
Sorry. I apologize.
Fuck off. No, you're not.
Man, I tell you. These Karens are off the freaking chain. What's up, Noam? Can you see? You actually missed quite a bit. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm almost on to the last topic of the day. Yeah, this stuff, man. Listen. And like I said, this now goes back to the story with Carolyn Bryant and Emmitt Till. The lies of a white woman have been known to get a lot of black men hemmed up. I call it I call it Carolyn's Legacy. That sounds like that could be the name of a book. Carolyn's Legacy. Jennifer said, yeah, she's sorry, no neck, snow goat. Jennifer, where are you coming up with these names? And here I am thinking that I'm good with coming up with names, but a snow goat? That was funny. A snow goat. I'm gonna be going around just saying that in my head all day, and people be like, why is you laughing? Nah, I mean, like, because I saw someone left a comment today calling somebody a snow goat. Oh man, that's crazy. But anyway, let me go ahead and get to the last story. And y'all already know what it's about. Y'all already know what it is about. And it's not about this, whatever this video is, but it is about the French actor Jussie Smollet, dubbed by Dave Chappelle. Jussie Smollet has been found guilty on all counts. Jennifer said, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. So is a snow goat a real thing? I need to look that up. Because if it is, that's going to make it even more funnier. If that's a real thing, that's going to make it even more hilarious. So we are talking about Jussie Smollet. Now, I have not done a video about Jussie on my channel probably since everything went down over a year ago. Well, now probably like 2 years ago. I just did an initial one because I said I don't know if I really want to follow this story or not. And from the get-go, at first I wanted to believe it because of the climate that we were in. But then when I started looking at the details even more, I said, this is impossible. I don't think that this is even true. Something just seems off about this whole situation. And then it comes out that the hunches were right. It was something wrong with this because the whole damn thing was staged. The whole thing. And man, when I tell you the stuff that I heard that came out of this trial made it even more eerie in the sense that you went through all of this to do all of this. For what? You ruined your own career. You ruined your own career. Like after Empire, I think that Jussie Smollett probably could have really gone far because I think out of Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard, Jussie was probably the third most known person in that cast, mainly due to his sister, Journey. And he had done some acting stuff in the past, but this being his biggest thing and him singing. And you ruined and fumbled. I mean, more than fumbled. You literally took a knife and cut your own bag up and literally let all the success and resources just fall out of it and fall into a dumpster somewhere and set it on fire. Like, how does one do that? And then on top of that, you turned it into a thing of they attack me because I'm black and they attack me because I'm in the academy. And you said that it was MAGA people who did it. And one thing that people was pointing out, they said, I don't know many MAGA people who would watch Empire. And you went out at 2 a.m. allegedly, which we now know is at this point not alleged, at least not for not the whole thing. At 2 a.m. in the morning to go to Subway for a sandwich in the middle of one of the coldest nights in Chicago. And said two people who wore MAGA hats attacked you and tried to lynch you. Then we fast forward to this trial because I'm not trying to get into all the extracurricular stuff in between. Then you get to the trial, and it turns out that Jussie was having a relationship with one of the people that was helping him to stage the attack. You know, because they said it was two, I think, Nigerian brothers. And he and Jussie was, one of them was having a relationship with him. Something about bathhouses. Then you hear about Donna pulling a Chris Cuomo, his bosom buddy, the same way Chris Cuomo was helping his brother Andrew Cuomo with this case. His days is numbered. He just don't know it yet. And it just amazes me that Don Lemon can sit up on his platform and act all holier than thou and like he's not wrong after all this stuff that comes out about him. Between this and those sexual allegations from that guy I did a video about, he has no room to talk about anybody. He is a walking contradiction, a walking, talking, breathing hypocrite. Now, thanks to what Jussie has done and, you know, him being found guilty and all this stuff, his sister is now going to have to continue to carry the Smollett name on her shoulders. She probably thought, damn, my brother is blowing up now. Now I don't have to carry the Smollett name all by myself. I can finally have some help. Then he pulls this shit, and now all the water weight is back on her shoulders to help support this family. I truly believe that if the entire Smollett family went forward with their acting careers and not just Journey and Jussie, that they could have been the Jacksons of acting. Because if y'all remember back in the day, they had their own show on ABC. And I think the name of the show was called On Our Own, where the whole family had did a show. It only lasted like a season. But Journey was the standout. She was like the Michael of the family. Because of course she went on and did more work. And then Jussie, he kind of just like did little things here and there, and then he broke out in Empire. He became more like the Janet of the family. And then he does this dumb shit. How? And then you wait. Here's the even more weirder thing. You pull this stunt while the show is still on the air. You couldn't even wait. Not saying that you should have did it, but you couldn't wait until the show was canceled. You couldn't wait till Empire was off the air to do this. You pulled this shit while the show was on the air. I think that's what made me even more mad about it. Because I'm not even gonna lie, I used to watch Empire in like the first 3 seasons and I fell off. But what makes me mad is that him pulling that stunt brought down the ratings of that show so much that they had to end up pulling the plug on the show earlier than they wanted to. Because they knew the ratings would never be the same after what he did. Like at that moment, he was only thinking of himself. And it's crazy because when I look at him on the show and I'm sitting here saying to myself, he doesn't appear like to be the person to pull something like that, but looks can be deceiving. Here Jennifer go again. She said Jussie was Janet, now he's about to be Bubbles caged. Jennifer, you were on it today. You were on it today. Mod Gaff, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name correctly. R said Donna was taped a couple of New Year's Eve's party being very zesty. He always is. He always gets lit on New Year's at CNN. And he's always around a bunch of white people. But you know, that's par for the course because he loves being around white people all the time. In the time that he was around black people, they kicked his ass up out of there. Remember that time he went to Ferguson with Mike Brown? They said, Don, get your ass up out of here. But yeah, that's what I think is a disappointment thing because Jussie, despite his lifestyle, is very talented. He knew how to sing. He could act. Why would you do that? You're considered a rising star. Why would you ruin your career when it's just getting when it's really just getting started? You had an opportunity in your hands that a lot of people would want to work with some wonderful people, despite how you may feel about them. And you ruined that. And then you brought down the optics of the show with your antics. So I think that's what made me even more mad about the situation more than just what he did. That was bad enough. But when you really like dissect all the other stuff, that's what made it worse. Malika said, he was just trying to strike while his acting popularity was hot to grow his marketability. Well, he failed immensely. Now you have these PC folks out here trying to say that he is racist. He staged his own hate crime and all types of stuff like that. First of all, PC, y'all can shut the fuck up. Because how many times have you lied to get black people hemmed up on some bullshit? Let's not talk about all them Karens that we had to deal with in a marathon formation back in 2019, starting with what's her name, Barbecue Becky, as we called her. And it just kind of trickled on down from there. And we can go even further back. Y'all have been known to lie historically on black people and get away with it. Many people are saying that this trial was a waste of time. It was. It really was. Like they could have just hit him with something and just been done with it, but they had to drag this thing out and make it into a much bigger deal than what it was. And now that he's been found guilty of all these charges, he is now going to become the face of The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Nope. Most people didn't even know who Jussie Smollet was before this, except for us in the black community. Of course, everybody knew who his sister Journey was because she was a bigger star. And my thing, I was really worried that what he did was going to ruin her career. I'm glad that did not happen because I'm like, she had nothing to do with this. Don't punish her. Just focus on him. And I'm glad that did not happen. because they could have easily tried to do that shit. Malika said the MAGA people are going to have their revenge. If you say so. But they're going to milk this for sure. They're going to milk this forever. And the thing is, even let's say, hypothetically saying Jussie manages to pull a rabbit out of his hat and he manages to put himself back out there where his career can start to rebuild itself, possibly. They are never, ever, ever going to let this situation slip out of their memory. Because from now on, Jussie won't be known as the person from Empire or the singer or the actor. Hell, not even Jussie Smollet's brother. He's going to be known as the guy who accused or tried to accuse MAGA people of trying to lynch him or being a race baiter, a loser, a lame, who fucked up his own bag for attention. An attention whore. That's his legacy. Congratulations, Jussie. You played yourself. That's your legacy. Anything else is whatever. They're not going to remember him for Empire. I do not feel bad for him. I don't. Dark Visitor said Juicy Boy is mixed, but they will push him as our representative. I said that on Twitter. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I said he checks off two boxes. One, he's mixed / biracial because he had a white father, or someone said he had an Iranian father, and he has a black mother. I think their father is deceased and the mother is still alive. And he's in the academy. So he checks off two boxes. And to those of you out there, to all the ethnically ambiguous, biracial, mixed, however you want to put it, people out there that think you can't get touched, look at what just happened with him. He didn't skate away because he's quote unquote mixed or biracial. In America, they still see him as a nigga, and they are treating him as such. This is his nigga wake up call, but he bought this wake up call on himself. He didn't get the call brought to him. He brought himself to the call. And the call responded in kind. And trust, it wasn't that kind. I just hope that no one else out there gets any ideas to try to pull this shit. Like I said, it's bad enough we as black people are already going through some shit right now in America as it is. For him to want to stage something, you didn't have to stage nothing. JK said Fox News is having fun with this. I bet they are. But you know what? But you know what Fox News is probably scared of right now? That Asian man that burnt that Christmas tree. But I'm not going to talk about that in here because I have a video coming up about that, possibly, most likely next week. The My Voice channel, black people of mixed. I'm guessing you were saying of mixed heritage or black people who are mixed can still get it. Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And they should not think that they won't get dealt with. I don't know why some of them think that they won't, but they definitely will. Like, you have a lot of people saying, oh, I'm going to have all these mixed kids and everything like that so they can live a better life. Okay, keep thinking that way if you want to. Basically saying I'm going to have these mixed children so they don't get treated like these darkies or get treated like myself. If you say so. If you say so. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I said video. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream on that note. I'm so glad that y'all were able to come through. Anyone who is new, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. If you have not done so already, make sure y'all go ahead and like the stream. I'm gonna share this stream on the community post. So for those of you who missed it, or those who did miss it, can catch the playback. Because we talked and covered a little bit today. This stream actually went a little bit faster than I thought it would. If y'all have not done so already, make sure y'all check out the latest video on my channel talking about the updated schedule. As y'all already know, I'm currently not uploading any videos on my main channel on Saturday and Sundays anymore for the time being. which is why y'all have not seen any videos today. It's after 1 o'clock. It's after 2, and y'all didn't see anything, and that's why. Make sure y'all check that out. I go into detail about that. We'll be back on Monday with the regular scheduled uploads. On Monday, the Sundown series is not gone away. It'll be on Mondays now instead of Sundays. Just have to throw that in there. But with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will, if y'all are in Discord, I will talk to y'all in Discord. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I'll talk to y'all on Twitter. And just be on the lookout for any community tab posts that I make from now and, whenever. And with that being said, I will talk to you later.